If you work in university maintenance, Granger considers you an MVP because your playbook ensures your arena is always ready for tip-off. And Granger is your trusted partner, offering the products you need all in one place, from HVAC and plumbing supplies to lighting and more. And all delivered with plenty of time left on the clock, so your team always gets the win. Call 1-800-GRANGER, visit Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
When you manage procurement for multiple facilities, every order matters. But when it's for a hospital system, they matter even more. Grainger gets it and knows there's no time for managing multiple suppliers and no room for shipping delays. That's why Grainger offers millions of products in fast, dependable delivery, so you can keep your facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome back. Thank you for checking out this bonus edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. I'm 12 Kyle. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. What I wanted to do on this one was to, I wanted to share a story. As you all know, if you've been following the podcast, from time to time, I will get on here and share a story or two. I actually wrote this one on my blog a couple of years ago, but I'm sure most of you didn't read it. So I'm going to give it to you in a podcast form. It's funny when I think about it. All right. So here it goes. So I'm chilling, right? Chilling at the crib, and I realized I had to go. I think I wanted to, that particular day, I wanted to grill. So I was like, okay, getting ready to grill. Got the grill, pull out everything, get my stuff. Realized that I don't have any charcoal, right? So I have to go to the grocery store. So I go to the grocery store, get my charcoal, get, meat, whatever the case may be. I'm standing in line. And I'm just standing there. I'm chilling. I'm waiting to pay for my groceries so I can leave, right? And the line that I'm standing in is pretty long, but it's moving pretty fast, so it's no big deal. There was a man in the line who was directly ahead of me. If I had to take a guess, he's probably about 40 years old, right? So as typical men in the South, we make eye contact, we give each other the head nod, like, what's up? What's up? And so, that's how we speak, nonverbal communication. And there was a woman standing in the line in front of him. And at first glance, she looked like she was probably about 40 years old as well, right? So this woman was very attractive. I mean, like, she was fly, right? And so when she spoke to the cashier, I could hear her. She had this nice, silky, sweet Southern drawl. So this dude, who basically is standing in between me and this woman, he's standing behind her. I'm standing behind him. He gives me that look, like, as if to say, can you believe how fine this woman is? Right? Fellas, you know what I'm talking about. And, of course, in my mind, I'm thinking, of course I can believe it. I mean, this is Atlanta. And for those of you who don't know, I mean, it's a place where there are a lot of beautiful women. And quite honestly, you could meet a runway model at 6:15 on a random day at the grocery store. It just happens like that. But anyway, back to the story. So he gives me the look like, yo, she's fine, right? And so I give him a look like, you probably should say something instead of looking at me. And so the guy turns back toward the woman. And she was getting her groceries, so she was kind of facing him at this point. And before he could say something to her, they made eye contact and she said hello. And then he froze. I'm not sure why he froze, but he froze for like 2 seconds. And then he said something that honestly he probably shouldn't have said, but I mean, I guess this was all he could come up with. But he said, "You are so pretty." Really, bruh? The woman paused, she probably paused partly because she didn't know what to expect from him. So she smiled and said, "Thank you." She grabbed her, items and, she walked out the store. So then he looks at me and I look at him and I give him this weird look like, bruh, is that all you could come up with? You're so pretty. And so I shot him some bail a little bit because I think as a man, I think we've all been there. I know he wanted to say something, right? He wanted to say something to strike up a conversation, but he fumbled. He fumbled the ball. He dribbled it off his foot, flag on the play, whatever you want to call it. He did it. And he did it badly and he knew it, right? And he watched her walk out of the store and all he could do was shake his head. So he paid for his groceries and he walked out, and I paid for my groceries and I walked out. So as I'm leaving the grocery store, I see her again. She had stopped at the ATM outside of the grocery store. But the dude didn't see her. I'm assuming he didn't see her, but I saw her. Now, as it turns out, it's funny. We were all parked in the same parking lot in the same row. So we were in line. My car, her car, then his car. So he still has a chance to redeem himself, right? And say something. He didn't have to spit a pickup line. He didn't have to spit game. All he had to do was just talk, right? I'm sure she would have been at least somewhat receptive to him. So he reaches his car, a couple of seconds before we get to ours, and he looks at her again, and she looks at him, and he peeped the personal license plates that she had on her BMW, right? So he looked up and said, this fool said, "That's a nice license plate on your car. The name on your plate," which said Rosemary, "is that your name?" She smiled very casually and just replied to him, "No, that's my grandmother's name." And she got in her car and she drove off. Now, I could tell she was somewhat disappointed because he didn't strike up a conversation. I mean, quite honestly, who knows where the conversation would have gone? He probably was thinking about what line to spit, but I think sometimes when you think like that, like when you feel like you got to spit a line or something like that, you kind of get in your own way, especially if you're trying to say something that you're not used to saying, or you're trying to be somebody that you're not. All I could do is just laugh, because I mean, I could see it in his eyes. He wanted it, but he just didn't know how to finish. So the moral of the story is, man, just be yourself. Fellas, just be yourself. And this is not for me to get on here and tell, give advice, but just be yourself. Because I think ultimately, if you're yourself, then a woman will appreciate you for who you are, not for who you are pretending to be. I mean, it's easy to be yourself and let people, kind of gravitate towards you and your personality. He had the opportunity in the store. She smiled. She gave him eye contact. She gave him a little bit of rhythm, and he fumbled. Then he gets outside and he asks about a freaking license plate. Is that your name? How many women named Rosemary that's 40 years old? They're not making Rosemaries anymore. Come on, man. Clown. But yeah, man. The moral of the story, be yourself. Trust me. People will appreciate you for who you are. And if they don't, that's cool. But ultimately, you can live with yourself if you're being yourself. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for checking out this bonus edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. I'm your boy 12 Kyle. Catch you guys next time. 5Gs.
When you manage procurement for multiple facilities, every order matters. But when it's for a hospital system, they matter even more. Grainger gets it and knows there's no time for managing multiple suppliers and no room for shipping delays. That's why Grainger offers millions of products in fast, dependable delivery, so you can keep your facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Maybe you recognize this voice. Andy Betterman here of the injury law firm Greenberg & Betterman. For over 35 years, we've been helping people in the DMV with auto accidents and medical malpractice. Get a free consultation by visiting gblawyers.com and feel better.